Hello my crafty peeps, it's Cheyenne from ecdesignstudios.com. Welcome to my YouTube channel or my website, whichever you're watching this from. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, so if you are looking for a demonstrator, I would love to be yours. If you have any Stampin' Up products that you would like to see me demo, go ahead and contact me, leave a comment, email me, whatever you need to do, and I will try to accommodate you. So on to today's video. Welcome to Scrapbook Saturday. I am so behind in my scrapbooking. It is ridiculous, and I'm going to share a little bit of my personal journey with you. In 2011, my ex-husband and I split up. So that was a pretty rough year, and I was already kind of behind on my scrapbooking at that point. So going through all of the emotional upheavals of that time, I got even further behind, and I find that I'm not yet ready to fully go back to that time period to do my scrapbooking, because I want to be able to be true to what was going on at the time and not have it be colored by what happened after that. So I have been kind of skipping around. I am starting a new scrapbook, starting with, once it was just me and my kid, and my ex-husband had moved out, when we were starting our new life, because I think I can be pretty true to those memories. So first thing that started that rough time was my son starting his first day of second grade. So this is what this scrapbook is going to be. Well, this layout anyway is going to be. It's not going to be a whole scrapbook of his first day. That would be a whole lot of pictures that I didn't take. But yeah, it just shows life happens. It's okay. There's good times, there's bad times. You just have to, work through it emotionally, and it's okay. I am very happy now. I'm very happy with my situation. I think it was for the best. I'm still... Well, we haven't gotten back to being friends, but we do still communicate. It's cordial and everything. But anyway, enough of all of that. Let's get on to what I'm going to be using on this layout. It's going to be for two 4x6 photos. We are going to be using the Wherever You Go stamp set. This is from the annual catalog. I'm going to be using the Wherever You Go, Go With All Your Heart sentiment. This fits in with the, well, it coordinates with the tags and labels framelits. So I did use those. So you're going to need your Big Shot and the tags and labels framelits. We're going to be using the little bird here, and we're going to be using the compass from that. Ink colors. We've got Sahara Sand, Tempting Turquiose, and Archival Basic Black. So, and then there's that. It's these little shapes, so it almost looks like a ticket from the tags and labels. So that's really fun. Triple banner punch. Going to be doing some decoration with that. I've got two pieces of Peekaboo Peach. They are cut at 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and these two pieces of Whisper White are representing my photos, because I don't have those printed out right now. I need an ink cartridge for my printer, and it's not letting me print out anything until I do that. It's holding me hostage. So I'm just going to, use washi tape, temporary adhesive to put those down so that you can get a feel for, hey, this is how it's supposed to be. Alright, we are also using some pieces from our Cupcakes and Carousels DSP. So it comes in a 6x6 paper stack. Lots of fun double-sided patterns to choose from. It's really fun. It coordinates with the Cupcakes and Carousel stamp set. There's a whole suite of options for you to use. So I picked this one, and it's got a fun pattern on the other side, but I liked that. And we've got this one. This is actually the same piece. This is 6x6, and these are not. But it's the same piece, just different sides of it. So they're both 6 inches long. Let me actually get over to where I can measure it in inches. See, we've got a 2x6 and a, it's about a 1/2 inch. So 2 by 6, 1/2 inch by 6. Doesn't really matter, just as long as it's, you know, framing out nicely. I've got a piece of Neutrals Designer Series paper. It's got the script on one side, the polka dots on the other, and it's crumb cake. And it is cut at 1.5 inches wide. Length is optional for you, but in case you're curious, it is 4.25 inches wide. And then I've got a piece of basic black. No, this is 1.5 inches wide. Sorry, this is 2 inches wide. And I just cut it longer because I'm not sure where I'm going to want it to all line up, because we're going to use the triple banner punch. And I've got a scrap piece of Whisper White to stamp the sentiment, and I've already cut out the mat for the sentiment, the wherever you go, go with all your heart, and I'd cut it out of copper foil. Isn't that so much fun? Alright, so the rest of this video is going to be a voiceover, so that I can, you know, talk about other things, and I can speed it up so that it gets done relatively quickly. Oh, you're also going to need a 12 by 12 piece of Kraft cardstock. That's a very important piece, because that's what you adhere everything to. So, all right, let's get started. First thing we're going to do is to take the scrap piece of Whisper White and our Tempting Turquiose ink, and we're going to stamp our sentiment wherever you go with all your heart onto it. Zoom you in there so you can really see. It's a wonderful stamp set, really love it. And it is, I find, fairly important to use the right size block for whatever stamp you're using. You get less of a chance that you're going to rock it and get a bad stamped image. So there we have our stamped image. We're going to put aside all of that stuff, and we're going to grab our big shot. I decided to just go ahead and use the precision base plate, since this was the only thing I was cutting, and that's what was with my big shot. I just used a piece of washi tape to make sure that didn't squiggle around too much. So if you don't have the magnetic platform, using washi tape is something that... Now it's time to take that Compass Rose stamp with the Sahara Sand, and we're going to do a little bit of a tone-on-tone effect on the background. So I'm just going to do kind of a pattern. There's going to be a lot of pattern paper over the top of it. So this is why I'm deciding to do it in more of a pattern, because a lot of it's going to be covered up. So if there's any inconsistencies in the pattern, you're not going to notice. And I'm just going ahead and doing the entire piece. If you wanted more of a distressed look, once you're done with this step, ink the edges up. You get your sponge, your Stampin' sponge, and just ink up the edges. It's going to make it look older, like an old map, or possibly even a piece of leather. It's a really good technique that you can use to give a little bit more oomph to it. But since I wasn't going too much with a travel theme, it's a school pictures, I didn't want to go that distressed with it. Then I'm going to grab the little bird flying away or to you. I don't know. It's up to you. It's kind of glass half full or empty, isn't it? And the Archival Basic Black. And I'm just doing just a little flock of birds flying away. We've got the geeses, Canadian geeses, migrating here. So I'm seeing this in the sky an awful lot these days, which I'm hoping means that spring will soon be here. And I have to say, I really love the touch of the birds in the corner. Next thing we're going to do is to pull over our DSP and kind of arrange everything where you want. It's always a good idea to just kind of place things dry, just so you can, you know, really get your placement correct on everything. And here you'll see me temporarily adhering the pieces of Whisper White onto the matte piece as my photo stand-in until I can get those printed out. I actually just went to the store earlier, and so now I have the ink cartridge. So before I go to bed tonight, they will be in my album, and that's a wonderful feeling. I can go ahead and check them off as complete. go ahead and grab that triple banner punch, and we're going to banner the end of that Neutrals DSP. I love the script and polka dot and the diagonal stripes from these pattern papers. They're pretty awesome. All right, now I took that basic black piece and I bannered it and I put them together, and I realized that's not really the look that I want. So I took it over to my paper trimmer and I trimmed off a little bit, and then I realized, you know, that's not quite right. I didn't have this lined up in my paper trimmer, did I? It's a little crooked. So I went ahead and ended up cutting that one at a 1 inch wide and bannering it, and I am so happy with how it turned out. It was pretty much how I pictured it. So I just ended up adhering that piece of basic black banner kind of centered there behind it, and I just, like I said, I love the way it turned out. I grabbed my snail adhesive and went ahead and adhered it all down. Then I went ahead and adhered all of the pieces down while I was at it. Get everything placed right. I lined it up with the top edge of my grid paper so I can get a better eyeball visual of a straight line. If you're someone who's really particular about everything being straight, you could have absolutely like brought out a T-ruler or just a ruler. And then, yeah, just adhering everything down. I don't tend to use a whole lot of dimension in my scrapbook pages because I don't want my entire album to get too bulky, because if every page has a lot of dimension on it and they're all together, it just makes for a very bulky book that doesn't end up really closing. So everything tends to be more flat for me. I'm really liking the little pop of copper there that I have going behind the sentiment there. It really stands out. At this point, I realize I need a little something more down there, something to, you know, add something. So I grabbed like a little piece of lace doily that I had sitting around, and I tried to, you know, put it on the side of the ticket. I'm like, nope, that's not working, but it does work above the little banner pieces. So I went ahead and adhered the very vanilla side up on there. So I just used my fine tip glue pen and got that adhered down. Now that I have worked with the fine tip glue pen more, I really like it. I think I'm going to be reaching for it a lot more, at least an equal amount as, you know, how I would reach for the Tombow Mono. I do like that the fine tip isn't going to dry and still be sticky. Then I realized that my ticket needed even more, so I grabbed my Decorative Label punch and was seeing which side I liked it best, and went ahead and punched that out, and it fits perfectly behind that ticket, and it pops it out a little higher than the banners, and it works so well. It really grounds it. I love the little extra pop of color and having it tie in with what's on. I used snail to adhere the ticket piece onto the decorative label and some dimensionals on the back of that piece. I also added dimensionals to the photo mats, and that is really the only dimension in this. Because this is going to be in a page protector and it's going to kind of be squished down, I did make sure to get a good number of dimensionals all over so that it's not going to end up sagging or getting warped. And of course, remember to take your paper backing off. Does anyone else find the paper backings to your dimensionals all over your house? I have a special art room. I have no idea how they end up everywhere, but they do. But it means I care, right? That I'm crafting and making things with my hands, and it's everywhere. It's evidence of all of that, right? Right, that's what I'm going with. I also decided that this layout could use a little bling, so I grabbed the metallic enamel shapes. I find that these are a wonderful alternative to the rhinestones or the pearls for more masculine pages, because it does give some shine, but it's silver or gold, and there's no like glitter or shimmer to it. It's definitely more metallic, so I like that. So I've got a big circle and 2 of the little circles along the bottom there next to the sentiment, and I just did 3 stars along that top edge. And then I decided I needed some place to journal, so I am a big fan of drawing lines to journal directly onto the background paper. So I've got my Project Life. This is, I believe, the 0.05 one. It's the thicker one. It comes in a pack of 2. So this is the thicker one, and I'm just using my Tim Holtz grid ruler. Big fan of rulers that I can see through with grids. It really helps. And I'm just doing some random lines. I'm not trying to make them too matchy. And I just did 4 lines, so I can use the other Project Life pen to write my journaling, and that is 0.01. These are acid free and archival and waterproof and all. Okay, that is it for today's video. I am really happy with how this turned out. I did end up adding some embellishments and changing some things up. So the little piece of basic black, it's now an inch by, you know, whatever. Really all you need is like a little, what's that, maybe 2-inch piece. But you got to be able to have it long enough to feed through your punch, so keep that in mind. We also added some metallic enamel shapes to this and a little decorative label punch. This is the same designer series paper that are part of this, so really you would only need 2 sheets, this one, and you can get all your pieces for that. I love how this background turned out. Look at that, isn't that fun with the little compasses? Can't you see a lot of like travel products or projects with that? And then the little birds flying away. I think that's just adorable. It's nice. It finishes off. Oh, we also had a little piece of lace doily just to kind of ground it. I took the Project Life pens, and I took the thicker one. I think it's 0.05, and just took my ruler and did some lines for my journaling, and I'll use the 0.01 to do my journaling. And yeah, then I'll just print out and add my photos to this. Got some dimension to it. I try not to add too much dimension to my scrapbook pages, because as each page has more and more dimension, your book gets bigger and bigger. So keep that in mind when you're doing traditional scrapbooking, or even Project Life too. That can get a little bulky. I try to minimize the bulk. Alright, so that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, welcome back. Love to see you guys returning again and again to watch my tutorials. Remember, a list of the products I use can be found in the description bar, along with links to the coordinating blog post and my online store. So if there's any of these projects that you want to purchase, just write down the 6-digit number, the SKU, if you will, in front of the product, and hit that Shop Now button. Head over to ecdesignstudios.stampinup.net. That'll take you to my Stampin' Up website. Click on that Shop Now button, and all you have to do is go to the search bar and click in, like type in those numbers, and it'll take you directly to the product. Feel free to check out the clearance rack over there too. It's pretty awesome. Sometimes you can get some retired product or some overstocked product for really decent prices. But yeah, that is all. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I do Facebook Live every Friday around 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And Instagram, I tend to do a lot of sneak peeks. You get those on my Facebook page too. Alright, thank you for joining me for Scrapbook Saturday. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye!